Now I'm going to teach you how to incorporate the Isha system into your daily life. The first thing I'm going to ask you is that you make a commitment to yourself to practice this for a minimum of 4 weeks. And in that period of time, I can promise you will see profound changes in your life. You're going to practice the facets for 1 hour a day with your eyes closed. When you practice the facets, you'll have 4 facets. So you could do the hour, for example, 20 minutes 3 times a day or half an hour twice a day. You can do it laying in the bed, at office, sitting in a bus, in the park. You can do it wherever you want. The important thing is that you're comfortable, that you can sit and relax. If you find that when you practice the facets laying down that you're always falling asleep, I suggest you try sitting up. And if you still fall asleep, what can I say? You need to sleep. This system is very simple and it's very gentle. But as you start to incorporate the facets, you will find that you start to have strange movements in your bodies. You might start to experience emotions. You might have memories. You might have toxins leaving. You might have all sorts of different things happening. And this is where I ask you to incorporate being innocent as a child. So how do children behave? If they're happy, they're happy. If they're sad, they cry. If they're angry, they're angry. They don't judge. They're just perfectly in the moment and perfectly human. So allow yourself to be human. Go deep in profoundly into the facets and find what's within yourself, and that which you don't wish to keep, just gently let go of. Now I'm going to give you a practical demonstration of how to use the facets. So you close your eyes and you think, praise love for this moment in its perfection. Then you place your attention in your heart. You wait a few moments and you think the facet again. Praise love for this moment in its perfection. You might have a lot of thoughts. As the body's healing and becomes active, it starts to make the mind move out on thought. That's perfect. You might have memories from your childhood. You might feel sad, or you might feel angry. If you're sad, just cry, and if you're angry, try screaming in a pillow. And then again, think the facet. Praise love for this moment in its perfection. After 5 minutes of using the facet, you're going to move to the second facet. Thank love for my human experience in its perfection. Again, you're going to place your attention profoundly in the heart. Thank love for my human experience in its perfection. You might feel something strange in your body. You might have energy. You might have a strange taste in your mouth. It doesn't matter. Just simply keep incorporating the facet. Sometimes when you use the facet, it might feel so profound, so deep, that you can hardly even remember to do the facet. That's perfect. Sometimes it might seem like you're just repeating the facet one on top of the other. When you see that, just gently come back to leaving a space. You can't do this wrong. Then you move to the next facet. Love creates me in my perfection. Again, you might feel an emotion. You might feel that the facet has nothing to do with the truth. That doesn't matter. You don't have to believe the facet. You're just going to repeat it mechanically. Love creates me in my perfection. Attention in the heart. Whatever happens naturally is absolutely perfect. Then after 5 minutes, again, you will move to the next facet. Om-unity. When I think Om-unity, I take the attention from the base of the spine to the top of my head. Again, I leave a space, and again, I think Om-unity. Whatever happens naturally is perfect. If there's noise, that's perfect. It's just another thought. Try and be as innocent as possible. Another way of expanding love consciousness very rapidly is to think the facet as much as possible with your eyes open. You can be in a traffic jam, in a bank queue, just jogging, walking down the street, whatever you're doing, start to make incorporating the facet a normal part of your day. If you imagine you have thousands of thoughts every day, and lots of these thoughts are based in drama, fears, worrying about the future, regretting the past. So you start to automatically incorporate the facet into each moment, and you're starting to focus in the present. When you're in the present, you can anchor and center yourself in love consciousness. In each moment, you can make a choice. Do I choose for the fear, or do I choose for the love? Habitually, we are choosing for the fear, so we can make a choice now that we have a tool to choose for the love in each moment. And when you keep choosing for the love, you become more and more love. So I've taught you how to use the facets with your eyes closed and how to use the facets with your eyes open, to incorporate them all the time. Another thing that's very important is that as the stress is leaving, you feel your emotions, you drink water, and you get a bit of exercise. Because you're starting to vibrate in higher frequencies, everything that doesn't serve starts to fall away naturally. As I focus on praise, love, and gratitude and perfection, everything that vibrates in fear starts to fall out of my universe. But I support this by doing exercise, drinking water, and feeling my emotions. As we start to expand love consciousness, we start to perceive the places in our lives where we're not being real. These places may be where you're constantly not speaking the truth, where you're abandoning yourself, where you're putting on social masks and not being true to your own heart. As you see these things, you can gradually start to change. The wonderful thing about love consciousness is when you start to experience this internal peace and joy, you have an internal security that allows you to walk through your fears. Another thing you might start to see is your addictions and how these addictions are constantly leading you towards suffering. When I started to expand love consciousness, I started to be so aware of so many aspects of myself that were immature, that no longer served. My addictions, my body started to reject. My habits that led me to suffering, I became so conscious of, I started to choose for something much more important, and that was to nurture the unconditional love that was in me. And the more I started to love myself, in each moment, I started to perceive more perfection externally. All my internal criticisms stopped being projected outside, and all of my environment started to change. I started to create what I wanted in my life. I started to be more innocent, more joyful, not always worrying about the future. I had the capacity to flow, to surrender in each moment, and open myself up to receive a completely new world, simply by becoming my true essence. All humans are of the same essence, be that love, God, divinity. But what we have that's individual is our facets. We have millions of different facets. And when we start to polish our internal diamond through the expansion of consciousness, we start to find how incredibly beautiful and unique we truly are.